as they're needed. So, we're pretty much going to be having this kind of discussion all throughout the entirety of development, and probably, it'll never end. That's the kind of approach I would like to take, just so that we're all mindful of what everything will impact, the game, or how it will impact the game. So that's kind of my perspective, my approach to, making sure that, that everything is thought of, at least for a little bit, if not thoroughly, and that, we make some cool ideas happen and some necessary things that need to change. And so that's why I'll bring up stuff like skills and classes and things like that to kind of go over again. But it's not a major concern. It's just kind of food for thought for now. And I think the most sense comes from having a little bit of content at a time, and maybe exactly how they did it back then. So I wouldn't be surprised if we feel comfortable with doing level 1 to 50, or it's possible to maybe less than that, because it's for the sake of time. But we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated.
Always with the updates.
So right now I'm just walking through the training area for the evil newbie zone. Kind of separated it half and half, with warrior halls and magic user rooms as well. And the rest, it's gonna be a little bit more larger than the original Darkness Falls boot camp. So hopefully it's not too large, but I think it should be pretty cool.
Hey, if you find it to be too large, which would be the first time anyone's ever said that ever, you could just delete some of it.
Well, it's less of a boot camp and more of kind of a unique, quote unquote, our favorite word, unique experience to kind of start out in. It's going to be pretty much a safe area that houses your trainers and merchants and things like that. And so it's the same concept, I guess you could say, but it's a little more, I feel, a little more thematic and, just a little bit grander, if you will. Right, exactly. So it's also, for people who come play this for the first time, so there will be kind of an emphasis on brand new players, and, we'll have a incentive, hopefully, for us veterans to kind of help them along. And that'll be something that I'll be working on personally, to develop a nice introduction and, training, if you will, like, welcome to the game. This is how you do everything. I know that the old games kind of had that, but it's hard to say whether or not they were successful. Did you guys feel that, reading guideline signs was good enough? Or I remember you had to type the word or say the word help, and the very first trainer would kind of talk you through it. Does any of that ring a bell to you guys?
It rings a bell, but I just don't know how useful it was for existing players. I'd love to get like an idea of what brand new players to the game thought about the boot camp.
Yeah, Mama, that's a good point. You know, having somebody that has the time or takes the time to show you a few things is pretty critical. So, is this going to be like the old boot camp? Once you leave, you can't get back in. That hasn't been decided on completely. It's going to be connected to the main areas, obviously, but we'll have kind of a different experience with that. So I think it'll ultimately be a one-way kind of connection, and but that's a very good question. I'll keep that in mind. I agree, Mama. There's definitely a lot of mud schools out there that are really well developed. Have you ever played a mud called Avatar by any chance? A guide to show for new players around. That's a pretty good idea. You can follow something that require a little bit of scripting.
Hey, listen! No! Dang thing was so annoying in Zelda.
Oh. Hey!
Listen!
Yeah. Hey, Navi, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Yeah, I think there's a possibility. We'll pitch some ideas to Mike for implementation, possibly for like an interface kind of window, maybe that walks you through certain things. Or I'll just make a nice little YouTube video or something like that. Whatever people need. Creating a game? Nice. What are you working on there, Nabi, sir?
Where was the city of Alariat or Alarian?
Oh, Alorian, you mean?
Yeah, where was that at?
I believe that was in Good somewhere, right?
I just don't have any logs of that. None of them have any of the Alorian or Alarian areas in it. You got to figure that one of them would.
Oh, okay.
A single one, though.
A Labyrinth and Unreal 4. Nice. Unreal is a really fun engine to play with. Are we going to implement Cade for initial release? It really depends on the scope of work, for us to, if we have to spend time on other things to help get, like an alpha, sooner, then we'll probably just leave Cade, for a little while. But if it's really simple for us to kind of work on all the lands while we implement everything else, then we might just have it open but unavailable at a certain point. Haven't quite decided that just yet. And I think they had a limitation, but it wasn't a physical restriction. Maybe it was a restriction for buying the ticket, but other than that, you could go fairly easily, I think. The Amazon engine. I don't have any experience with that one, but I have heard that they are starting to use that for quite a few things now, so that's pretty cool. Are you guys working on an old game, or is this going to be a new title?
I know that Cade needs a lot of work, but in particular, the start areas for Evil and where is it at? Fields of Sorrow, I think, was the connection zone. Like that wasn't in the documents file that we have, the rooms document. So I'm gonna have to recreate that from scratch. Well, I have some logs for myself that will help me do it, but everything else is looking pretty good in Cade in terms of the completeness of it. Especially thanks to logs from Nyx. He went to a lot of the areas there, so that is quite good. Quite good.
Awesome. We appreciate it, Nyx. Sounds cool, Navi. Yeah, we'd be excited to see it. Are you? I'm guessing you're pretty early in development as well.